Om Namah Shivaya. Episode 76, Chapter 13, verses 24 to 30. The Vision of Atma. Atma Darsana. Right now we are Satchit Ananda Atma. And to have the vision of Atma, Atma Darshana, we must gain the knowledge of Brahman. For this, we have to listen, Shravana, to the Vedanta Sastra with the help of a qualified guru. And upon listening, if we have no obstruction to its teaching, we will gain the vision of Atma. But if our intellect put forth any obstruction against the vision of Atma, we must analyze, manana, its meaning in depth, and contemplate nididhyasana upon it, purely to remove all erroneous past impressions that obstruct this vision. In verse 24, Sri Krishna names three groups of people who are seeking the vision of Atma. First are the sannyasis and jignasus, who usually have no obstruction, as they have purified and steadied their minds and are one-pointedly working towards moksha. They have the wisdom to discriminate between real and unreal, Atma, Anatma, as they have mastery over their mind and senses, samadhamma, and dispassion, vairagya, towards sense objects. Because of these qualifications, they are ready vessels for the vision of Atma. Just by listening, Sravana, to the knowledge of Brahman, they see the self, Atma, by knowledge. Atmanam pashyanti kechit sankhyena yogena. Second are the karma yogis, and among them there are various levels depending to what extent they have purified and steadied their minds. Therefore, there are some who do not have obstructions and some have obstructions. Those who do not have obstructions, they have to listen and analyze upon the words of the Sastra. And they will see themselves as Satchit Ananda Atma. This is gaining the vision of Atma. Whereas those with obstructions are still identifying themselves at their body-mind sense level. So they have to use their intellect to contemplate in their mind, dhyayena atmane, by dwelling upon the glories of Atma as pure consciousness, chaitanya, fullness, purna, free from the sense of doership and enjoyership, etc. This is seeing the self by the self. Pasyanti kechit atmanam atmana. Third, and there are others who are just beginning the path of karma yoga. Karma yogena cha apare. They have to first do their righteous duty for the purification of their mind, and at the same time be committed to gain the knowledge of Brahman. They have to listen, analyze, and contemplate upon the words of the Sastra, and in time they will gain the vision of Atma. Verse 25 states the fourth group, but others, anye tu. They can be anyone excluding the sannyasis, the jignasus, and the karma yogis. These people have no mental discipline. They have not done their duties for the purification of their mind. And they do not have the intellect to discriminate between Atma and Anatma. Thus, not knowing in this manner, evam ajanata, but having heard from others, anyebhya srutva, about the glories of the vision of Atma, are committed to what they have heard. Sruti parayana. Now the question is, how is the Guru going to advise them what to follow, upasate, in order to gain the vision of Atma? Generally, a Guru will give them a secret mantra to be chanted 4 to 5 hours daily. They can also be asked to practice the first 4 steps of Astanga Yoga. Practice Yama, Niyama, Asana and Pranayama. Some gurus will also teach the Sanskrit grammar. All these can take 2 to 5 years or even more, depending upon their commitment, until they gain mental discipline. Once they have gained mental discipline, the Guru begins the teaching of the Gita, telling them the importance of Karma Yoga, doing our duties for the purification of our mind and not to fulfill our desires. And when their minds are purified to a certain extent, the Guru begins the teaching of the knowledge of Brahman. And when it is converted to wisdom, they also have the vision of Atma. And they also have crossed over death. Te apicha atitaranti eva mrityum, meaning they have gained moksha. In verse 26, Arjuna is addressed as Bharata Rishabha, the most qualified in the Bharata family for the knowledge of Brahman. Here Sri Krishna says, first, as long as any existent thing, mobile or immobile, is born, yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam stavara jangamam. Second, that, may you know, is because of the connection between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. Kshetra Kshetrajna samyogat tat vidhi. First, with the help of the Shastra, we learn to see the apparent connection between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. We learn that our body, our Kshetra, consists of the 3 gunas and the 5 elements, which in its subtle form is our intellect, ego, mind, 5 senses of perception, 5 powers of action, desires, aversion, pleasure, pain, etc. are all born of Maya. It is mithya. It has no existence without Kshetrajna. This is only an apparent association, a superimposition. There is no real connection between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna, because the Kshetrajna is partless and not available for association. Second, Kshetrajna is to be recognized as Brahman, Ishvara, Atma, the all-pervasive pure consciousness that is free from all attributes. Kshetrajna has not undergone any change to become our Kshetra, our body. By knowledge, when we learn to disassociate from our body, our kshetra, and associate with kshetrajna means we have a clear vision of Atma, Atma Darsana. This vision releases us from this endless cycle of birth and death, samsara. In verse 27, Sri Krishna says, having the vision of Atma means the one who sees is the one who sees. Ya pasyati, sa pasyati. This seeing is at the Satyam level. There is no duality. Due to Parameshwara's all-pervasive pure consciousness, we are able to see and the object is able to be seen. The first glory of having the vision of Atma is seeing Parameshwara remaining the same in all being. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tistantam Parameshwara. We see Parameshwara, the all-pervasive pure consciousness, the cause of everything, remaining equal without any attributes in all being. Thereby, we remain unaffected by the pairs of opposites at the Prakriti level. The second glory of having the vision of Atma is we see Parameshwara as the one that is not being destroyed among the things that perishes. Vinasyatsu avinasyantam. Parameshwara remains imperishable among the perishables. Our body dies, our mind dies, one thought dies before another thought arises. This means that everything at the Prakriti level, at our Kshetra level, perishes. But at the Satyam level, Parameshwara, Kshetrajna, Purusha, Atma does not undergo any change. Parameshwara does not decline among the things that decline, does not grow among the things that grow, is not born among the things that are being born. Parameshwara remains the same in all things without undergoing any change. Having this vision means we are identifying ourselves at the Atma level. Verse 28 praises the result of having the vision of Atma. First, because of seeing Ishvara as the same, the one who obtains in the same form everywhere. Samam pasyanhi sarvatra samavastitam Ishvaram is having the vision of Atma. We see the self-evident, eternally present Ishvara everywhere, and we identify ourselves as Satchit Ananda Atma and not with our body, mind, senses. Second, we have not destroyed ourselves by ourselves. Na hinasti atmanam atmana. By having the vision of Atma means we have reached the purpose of human birth, moksha. Thereby, we have not destroyed ourselves by ourselves, as we have removed our ignorance and gained the knowledge of Brahman. Third, thereby, we have reached the ultimate in moksha. Tata yati param gati. Moksha is the ultimate end, beyond which there is no end. In verse 29, Sri Krishna says, to have the vision of Atma, we must know first, by Prakriti alone, actions are being performed in all ways. Prakritya evacha karmani kriyamanani sarvasa. Ishvara, by having Maya under his control, creates this universe, Prakriti, without undergoing any change. Maya itself performs no action, but has undergone changes to become Hiranyagarbha, the total, subtle and physical aspect of this creation, Prakriti. In Prakriti alone, all actions takes place due to Atma, Purusha's pure consciousness presence in Prakriti. Second, and so too, we must see the self Atma is not the doer. Ya pasyati tata atmanam akartaram sa pasyati. At our individual level, Prakriti has modified to become our body, mind, senses. And when we perform an action, it is due to Atma's presence within. At the same time, we know that Atma performs no action. Knowing this, when we do our righteous duties without a sense of doership for the purification of our mind, we qualify ourselves for the vision of Atma. Verse 30 explains what was said in verse 29 in different words, that all beings exist in Atma alone. First, when we see clearly, yada anupasyati, meaning when we see in according to our sastra, as explained by the teacher, that Atma is the same in all being, thereby seeing the immenseness of the Atma in the existence of the entire creation. Second, we see in the duality of all being, all our minds, all our senses, all the condition of distinction in the being, Bhuta Pratak Bhavam, have their existence in Atma alone, Ekastam. In every creation, only the name and form differs. And when all these names and forms can be reduced to pure consciousness alone, all have their being in Atma. Third, not only the entire creation has its existence in Atma, but from Atma alone, the entire creation is projected. Tata evacha vistaram. The entire creation blossoms forth from Atma. Therefore, Atma is not only the efficient cause, but also the material cause. In this way, everything is born of Ishvara, sustained by Ishvara, and dissolves back into Ishvara. There is no other Ishvara separate from us, sitting somewhere creating something. Fourth, thereby we see clearly we are Brahman. We have gained Brahman. Tada Brahma Sampatyate. At verse 30, we shall take a break, and next Sri Krishna teaches us that Atma remains limitless even when associated with the limitation of our body, mind, senses. So till then, Om Namah Shivaya.